Hotel that will attract national conferences to the state. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiu has the report.
According to Governor Dapo Abiodun, the actualization for the inauguration of Gateway International Airport is a testament to focused and vision implementation strategy of his administration on modalities to attract more local and international flights to the airport. The governor said cargo operations have started with Allied Air, disclosing that Ethiopian Air will soon begin operations with another European carrier set to bring cargoes into the state from Europe. He added that about 50 cargo flights are expected to land at the airport between April and the end of the year.
So AirPC is deploying a 777. So AirPC is deploying a 777. The only aircraft we get at a 777 is an A380. And that 777 will take off from here, go to London via Abuja. Like I said, the cargo operations have started with Allied Air. Ethiopian Air is also coming, and we also have another European carrier that's bringing cargo here from Europe. With that, I believe that will probably rank us third behind Lagos and Abuja, with all what I've shared with you. And because of the level of aviation equipment that we have installed here and invested in this airport, I believe that it will attract more and more commercial operations.
Similarly, Ondo State Governor Orimisan Ayedatiwa says the airport will ease movement of people around the corridor with its proximity to Lagos and Ondo State. Around the corridor with its proximity to Lagos and Ondo State, saying it is a landmark.
It's about one and a half hours. So this airport will be serving a lot of people. And since it's started as an international airport, a cargo airport, a lot of businesses will be consummated from here. And it's a good thing for Nigeria, and like Mr. President said, for the good of Nigeria, because this is one of the subnational developing.
Also, Chairman, Senate Committee on ICT and Cybersecurity, Senator Shoaib Afolabi Salisu, noted that the project is beyond infrastructure, but a legacy of Governor Dapo Abiodun that has put the state on global map.
The airport has been used for quite some time. You saw the airlines, you saw the two aircraft, but most important perhaps, you could also see the cargo airline that has just landed, dropping goods, meaning that a few kilometers from here, you have the agricultural testing center where we can export agri-produce from here. You could also see that the custom is also here. You can see a number of those. So this is not just an airport that is in isolation, is an entire integrated system.
He also pointed out that the shared agenda of the state government is complementing the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
In a move to industrial growth and expand employment opportunities, the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has commissioned the ATC Business and Industrial Park in Ode Remo. The project, driven through a public-private partnership initiative, is expected to boost economic activities, attract investments, and provide jobs for youths across Remo land. Matthew Showumi completes the report.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun, represented by the Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Engineer Ade Akinsanya, formally inaugurates the ATC Business and Industrial Park in Ode Remo. Governor Abiodun says the project aligns with his administration's vision of creating a business-friendly environment and stimulating industrial development across the state. He assures investors of continuous government support.
It will enhance access to goods and services, promote local enterprise, and create a vibrant commercial center.
The commissioning ceremony is followed by the groundbreaking of the park's shopping mall, performed by the Akaribu and Paramount ruler of Remoland.
I'm so happy with what I've seen.
In their guru messages, Chairman of Remo Growth and Development Foundation, Sheni Adetu, Are Kola Oyefeso, and other stakeholders commend the initiative, describing it as a strategic investment that will drive economic growth in the region. They also applaud Senator Oladipo Odujirin for his commitment to community development.
Having industrial park is not very common in this country. It's a new paradigm shift. So our traditional way our government only do this.
It's a kind of employment generation that is doing in there. Do you know the number of people that will be benefiting from this place? Therefore, I want to plead with our people. They should emulate the senator.
And I want to congratulate our distinguished senator, leading leader, for this laudable project. This is a self-financing project without recourse to any financial loan from any bank. This is complementing our executive governor, the legacy project of the Gateway Airport, which was commissioned a few days ago.
We are going to experience monumental.
Come address, Chairman of Abejoye Trading Company Limited, Senator Oladipo Odujirin, notes that the project represents a private sector-driven, infrastructure-backed investment platform needed to reposition Nigeria's economy.
We are providing power, we are providing security, we are providing water, we are providing sanitation. So that when they don't come with a machine and start the business.
The highlights of the event include the unveiling of a bronze statue and a tour of the industrial park by dignitaries and invited guests. Matthew Shoumi, OGTV News.
The Ogun State Executive Council has approved the renaming of the Shagamu-Beru-Shapade Expressway as the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Expressway in honor of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The decision followed an earlier announcement to rename the artery bypass during the commissioning of the Gateway International Airport and other landmark projects last Saturday. In a related development, the former aviation village in Ikberu has been renamed after the late Oba Adeleke Idowu Basibo in recognition of his contributions to the community. The council also approved the procurement of 50 electricity transformers to improve power supply across the state under the Light Up Ogun project. Additionally, the council approved the purchase of 20 Suzuki Grand Vitara and 12 Toyota Fortuner vehicles to support the administrative operations of public officials. Further decisions include traditional leadership appointments and recognitions across various communities. The council approved the declaration of the Olu of Odeda Sto in Odeda local government area. It also ratified the appointment of Prince Adeyemi Ibikunle as the Oludotun of Idotun in Ikene local government area, Chief Yaya Oriyomi as the Olu of Mowe, and Bashorun Peter Oluwole Ogunbayo as the Odemo of Ishara. The approvals reflect the state government's continued focus on infrastructure development, strengthen local governance, and community leadership. The Chief Executive Officer, Access Bank, Roosevelt Obuna, has commended the Ogun State government for putting in place economic policies that have made the state the preferred destination of choice for investors. He said that the government has opened up the state in a manner that partners are not just in the state for financial gains, but for as well working with the states to create a blueprint for what the future of the state should look like. The bank head made this known during an interview with journalists when he was of his team to the office of the Ogun State Governor. He said that the commissioning of the Gateway International Airport is a kind of legacy that only a state like Ogun State can create.
What we saw on Saturday is the kind of legacy that they will create. So extremely proud to have actually been given the opportunity by His Excellency and the state government to participate and partner with them on that project, to see what was a vision on paper. When I say paper, plain paper, actually materialize into a project that has been delivered with excellence and with class. Makes me extremely proud to be a Nigerian, and really happy to see the state government and the governor putting a vision into reality, and that's what we saw on Saturday.
In his response, the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, described Access Bank as a partner in progress, noting that the commissioning of the Gateway International Airport is the implementation of a vision that his administration had assumed office, which he said was followed with passion that was keyed into by Access Bank.
They built that airport. And when you think of an airport that was built when the exchange rate was probably 400 or 500 naira to the dollar, such a world-class airport, as alluded to by Mr. President himself, if we didn't have the financing at the right time, we will not be where we are today. Imagine building that airport today at 1,400 or 1,500 to the dollar. It would have been very good people of Ogun State. We say thank you to the Access Bank family. Thank you very much.
That Access Bank had set a standard and barometer for other banks to follow in the country. Induction and orientation program for the newly recruited civil servants is a clear demonstration of the commitments of the current administration in Ogun State to developing a workforce that is competent and ethically grounded for efficiency in service delivery. The Ogun State Head of Service, Kehinde Onosonya, drops the hint while declaring open a 2-day induction and orientation for the newly recruited junior officers into the basic grades of the civil and public service across MDAs. Benga Adekoya reports that over 500 new officers were injected into the state civil service in the course of the induction.
Amid excitement and jubilation at the Obas complex in Okemos from Abeokuta, newly recruited civil servants gather for a comprehensive induction and orientation program designed to prepare them for the public service. The training provides participants with a solid foundation in government principles, policies, and administrative practices. It also covers key areas such as government structure, ethical standards, public administration, and effective communication within the public sector. The Permanent Secretary Bureau of Establishment and Training, Mrs. Lydia Fajumbo, explains that the goal is to equip the new officers with the knowledge and skills required to perform their duties with confidence, integrity, and professionalism.
It is also important to emphasize that discipline, punctuality, and commitment are key values expected of every public servant. Your attitude to this training will also impact the overall effectiveness of the service.
Declaring the program open, the Head of Service, Kehinde Onosonya, urges the officers to embrace the Ishaya mantra and remain committed to excellence in service while appreciating the State Governor for prioritizing workforce development.
And let me assure you that government shall continue to prioritize the welfare and development of the workforce. Within the limits of available resources, efforts will be made to ensure that workers are supported and motivated to perform at their best. This commitment is based on the understanding that a satisfied workforce is essentially for efficient service delivery.
Other permanent secretaries, including those in the Bureau of Local Government Pension, the Bureau of State Pension, and Bureau of Public Service Reform, also charged the new recruits to uphold diligence and accountability in service. Responding on behalf of the participants, the newly recruited officers pledged to contribute their quota to the development of Ogun State.
I'm happy and I feel blessed to be among here today. Yeah, I see it as an opportunity to explore more in any agency.
It has really been life-changing for me. I've been able to work with people greater than me, and I've learned a lot about the ministry.
We say a big thank you to our Excellency Prince Dapabiodun for creating this kind of opportunity for me to be part of this newly employed officer.
Over 500 officers were formally inducted into the state civil service.
Nigerians have been told not to believe every report read on the social media because content creators have outweighed those of trained journalists. These were the opinion of contributors at the first Comrade Ambassador Tunde Oladunjoye Memorial Lecture organized by his committee of friends in Abeokuta. Fawora Adesonwu has the report.
At exactly 1 year after the demise of Comrade Tunde Oladunjoye, his friends and well-wishers and political associates converge on the cinema hall of the June 12 Cultural Center, Kutu Abeokuta, for the maiden memorial lecture. His lawyer, Otuba Taufik Lawal, is associate in the Committee of Democracy and Human Rights, as well as political associates in the All Progressive Congress, led by the Deputy State Chairman of the party, Chief James Dino, as well as top-notch in the media industry, were at the event. Guest speaker and former Deputy Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Remi Azan, while speaking on the topic, the pen, the throat, and the burden of preserving legacy of ethical journalism, submitted that who pays the piper dictates the tune.
The pen is mightier than the sword, has endured across generations, yet its true implication is often underestimated. The pen shapes narratives, influences perceptions, and ultimately determines the direction of societies. However, with such power comes an equally weighty responsibility. Ethical journalism is not about sensationalism or expediency. It is about accuracy, fairness, and courage. It demands that the journalist stands firm, even when the truth is inconvenient or dangerous.
Azan, however, warned that only the truth exalts a nation and could open doors of opportunity for journalists. Honorable Azan also continued that not everything seen in the social media or media are the truth, but all are meant for a purpose. Other contributors agree. The chairman, planning committee, and pen pushing publisher, Dimeji Kayode Adedeji, said Comrade Olatunjoye had come, saw, and conquered, and even touched lives of many, including lives of the families of dead journalists. Olori Toyin Banjo, a member of the deceased family, lamented that the healthcare system of the country needs a total overhaul for efficiency. Adefowora Adesanwo, OGTV News.
Has cautioned that the ongoing surge in global oil prices could directly increase Nigeria's headline inflation by about 20 points as higher fuel costs the economy. In its latest Nigeria Development Update released in Abuja, the bank highlighted distortions in the downstream sector, noting that imported petrol is currently about 12.22 per litre. The report links the price surge to global crude oil increases following the Middle East conflict, with oil trading around $80 per barrel, 31% higher than pre-conflict levels. The bank warned that indirect effects on transport, logistics and food prices could push inflation even higher, given that energy-related components accounts for over 10% of Nigeria's consumer price index basket. Similarly, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals has slashed the ex-country premium price of premium motor spirits petrol to 1,200 per litre, reversing its earlier increase amid a sharp drop in global crude oil prices triggered by geopolitical developments. The latest adjustment represents a 75 naira reduction from the previous price of about 1,275 per litre, which the refinery had implemented in response to rising international oil prices. The refinery, who confirmed the development, said the facility adjusted its pricing in response to prevailing international crude oil benchmarks and market realities. However, the same refinery told newsmen that the refinery has now reversed its decision to increase prices. Moving on to the foreign scene, Greece will ban access to social media for children under 15 from the 1st of January 2027. Prime Minister Kyriakos said on Wednesday, Greece is among the first countries in the world to adopt such a measure. The Prime Minister said, adding that he would put pressure on the Union to follow suit. Mr. Takis said he used social media to make the announcement so he could address teenagers and school children directly. Australia in December became the first country in the world to require TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat and other top sites to remove accounts held by under 16s or face heavy fines. Indonesia began enforcing a social media ban for users under the age of 16 in March and has already issued summons letters to Google, to Meta, over their failure to comply with the law. And on sports, players and officials of Nigeria's under-20 women's national team, the Falconets, have officially resumed camp in Abuja as preparations intensify for the final round of qualifiers for this year's FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. Nigeria will face Malawi in a two-leg tie for a place at the tournament, which will be held in Poland from September 5th, 2020 to 2026. Nigeria will host the fourth leg on Saturday, May 2nd, with the return leg scheduled for a week later in Malawi. Some of the invited players reported to camp, while training sessions commenced on Tuesday under the guidance of head coach Moses Aduku. According to the Nigeria Football Federation, the team has begun intensive training aimed at building fitness, cohesion and tactical discipline ahead of the crucial encounter, while the technical crew awaits the arrival of the remaining invited players. And just before we end the news, in the words of Robert H. Schuller, it says, today's accomplishment were yesterday's impossibilities. And that ends the news at 2. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.